Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Amateur World League. We are here live with the new season, with the new league. So much excitement. I am so ready. My name is Rarity, and I am joined by the wonderful, the talented Kamika. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling like all those things you just said about me are absolutely true. I'm feeling great today, Danny. Thank you so much for saying those nice things about me. But, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lot to say about Acrylic versus Disengage. Those are the two teams that are going to be facing off right here, right now. Acrylic, a lot of players you're going to be recognizing here. Freaky. And then there's Pooty, Calamity, and Southpaw. Some of these players you may recognize if you've been watching since Modern Warfare 2, especially because if I do recall correctly, these guys made it really, really far in the AWL lane, and if I do recall correctly, they also won a LAN that I casted recently in Modern Warfare 2. So these guys are no pushovers, Danny.
Yeah, and I mean, and on the other end here for Disengage, we got a pretty solid roster as well. I have a lot of experience casting over these guys, so I'm so excited to see what they're gonna bring here. You got yourself Patty Mills, who is an awesome AR, Sky Zay Money, who is an incredible SMG. I think his talent, his route running is really good. Sky, he's also pretty talented. I love watching Sky on the map. He's pretty fun to watch. I don't know too much about Lazy, but the other three I know are very solid indeed as we kick things off here for map number 1. I believe the names are going to be flipped on your screen, so please so please bear with us. We'll correct you as you go though, so you don't have to worry about that. But first things first, Patty Mills is going to be inside of that hill. He's going to get taken out, and so far a lot of back and forth trading here on this P1.
Yeah, Disengage with a very, very modest lead so far, but yeah, sorry, Acrylic with a very modest lead so far. These names are already messing me up here as well. They are going to be giving Disengage a spawns by default just because they did a little bit too good on the objective, suffering from success so far, Team Acrylic, and they are going to be on the side that I would argue is a little bit harder to break them from initially. So yeah, this is going to give a little bit of an opportunity for Disengage to get back into this and regain the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can already see Zay starting to lock down that hill just a little bit. Grabs a kill. Lazy finds one as well as Disengage net. They are racking up some time here. Southpaw trying to break that one along with Pooty as they both find some kills. Calamity actually pops that dead. He goes for the route, tries to catch him off guard, and the pinch is successful. And Acrylic, they are going to break into that hill. Still 30 seconds left to go. Looking to expand on that lead. You can already see some players starting to rotate number 4 and number 8 as looks like there might be a little bit last-ditched effort on that last hill, but besides that, it is going to be on this rotation. Pooty does end up winning the first gunfight. May have spotted another on the cross, but going to try to lock it down here for his team.
Yep, Calamity going to be finding another one, just trying to figure out exactly where these guys are going to be ending up spawning. Does find another one to Lazy, going to be nursing some streaks, and does get it onto Patty Mills at the end of the day, and they do manage to force the spawns out towards the top side of the map here, right into the path of Calamity, which is perfect. It's exactly what you want. And so now, Acrylic, they should very, very easily be able to get even further ahead of Disengage.
Yeah, man. I mean, Freaky's sitting on that hill, 45 seconds in, counting on that hill. Calamity just 8 and 2, went on an absolute spree defending that hill. It's going to be up to Patty here in the first position. Does get taken down by Freaky as Southpaw actually gets traded out by Sky there. In the meantime, Calamity ends up finding one, as you do see Pooty as well. And that's going to be a pretty good chunk of time here for the side of Acrylic, as now you're going to look out at this rotation. The rest of that time should go for Acrylic here. Southpaw does end up getting a nice little nade onto Lazy, but Disengage, they're going to be on this rotation. They're going to be hungry for some time, but man, they all just get wiped down. It's all up to Sky, and he gets taken down as well. And Acrylic, they have full control of this next hill, man. It is not looking too good. Pooty just got himself a 6th spree. Give him that streak. As Southpaw, he goes on a 4 from the top ropes. Calamity, 11 and 2. Not much else you could ask for here out of Acrylic.
Yeah, I mean, over 100 points to the good of your opponents. Can't really get much better than that. I would at least hope that we don't get much better than that for the health of this game here, dude. But it is going to look like Disengage will be able to break back in, courtesy of Patty Mills. Been having a really hard time getting some kills. A lot of these players, especially Sky, had just very recently got his first 2 kills of the game. And, I mean, yeah, the start may be bad, but it does look like they are starting to stabilize a little bit for certain players like Zay and Patty. They're starting to trade out a little bit more evenly, but it's still going to be a little bit more slow going for the rest of the players here.
Yeah, you're completely right, man. A little bit of a slow start there out of Disengage, but man, they're still in it. It's still a little early in this match. You can see Disengage. I mean, excuse me, Acrylic. It isn't too incredibly close to closing it out. Still over 100 points, but with a nice hold here, they could change that right up. And in my opinion, man, Disengage, they gotta break this right now, or else this one could get too far away from them too quick. As Moody ends up finding Zay, a little bit of trade going on with Lazy, another kind of lazy, I guess you could say. Patty Mills still in the kill feed, able to find one, and that's going to be 3 dead for the side of Acrylic, as it looks like there's still one person on that hill. They still got to get him out here to try and take advantage of this, but he gets taken down trying to climb into the hill. Freaky still holding strong inside despite all of his teammates falling down around him, and nobody is going to be left on this contest, but Freaky does get taken down barely by the final player, by that Diamati, and that is going to be only 5 seconds there for the side of Disengage, and head back on over, where once again it's going to be all Acrylic handing on this site. You can see 2 players, Freaky and Pooty, laying down, having their way with anybody who comes across them. Sky does find another 2-piece, but it's too little too late.
I just want to point out, Freaky, he's getting so much hill time, dude. It is absolutely ridiculous. He's just like the human hard point holder. Like, oh my god, one rotation and already at like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That is absolutely ridiculous. Talk about taking one for the team. Not necessarily getting the most engagements in, but doesn't really have to at the current moment. And with that, Disengage, they're going to be trying. They better get some more engagements in, is what I'm trying to say here. But, you know what I mean? They're definitely not having the bestest of times here. Freaky going to try and make his way around with a striker, no less. Typically seeing that gun not used a whole lot, but yeah, we are seeing finally a good rotation coming out from these guys. Might not get 100-point clubbed after all, but the unfortunate thing is that some of these Acrylic players do have some streaks. The unfortunate thing for Calamity is that he hits it right into the wall.
Yeah, hits it right to the wall, but Southpaw comes in with a 3-piece with the Diamati as that final kill, and Pooty trying to clean things up. Lazy trying to kind of step the bleeding a little bit with a 2-piece, but he gets shut down. Zay and Sky, they're able to find a pair of kills as we go back and forth here. Zay finds a second. Pooty able to trade that one right out. This hill is an absolute battle. Disengage is not backing down. They still want this one, but man, in the end, Pooty just too strong. They're able to push through. Calamity with the backup fire, able to find Lazy, and that's gonna be 20 seconds till victory. They can't win off this one, but Acrylic, they can come pretty darn close, as that scrap time is all but over as we focus on the rotation number 2. Southpaw, he's already rotated, and he's gonna have the cross too, so it's gonna be incredibly hard to get past him right now. Lazy, he's able to pick up one. Zay finds one as well. Sky trying to trust through to find this last player, but he gets taken down by Southpaw, who is just waiting. The crosses are covered. Calamity finds one. Southpaw does get taken down by Lazy, which could be the opening that Disengage needs to get on this site, but Pooty, he's already there. 3 seconds, 2, the push has to come, but it doesn't come soon enough, and Acrylic, they're gonna take map number 1.
Yeah, starting off really nice this season so far. Acrylic already 100-point clubbing their opponents as they're typically expected to do. Acrylic always bringing in really good teams to every single season of absolutely anything I ever cast them in. And yeah, starting things off hot. Again, with the 100-point club.
Yeah, man, I mean, taking a look at these final stats, it's just Southpaw 22 and 16 had an incredible map. Pooty 17-10 felt like he couldn't be killed at some points. And I mean, Disengage, man, they put up a fight. They wanted to be in that one, especially those last couple of hills. You could really see they were kind of moving as a team, and they were trying to collapse in on those sites, but it's just that constant pressure that the other team put on. They were just not able to handle. And Acrylic, man, looking really strong out the gate. I mean, they had a really strong start, took advantage of kind of the slow slaying that Disengage came out with, and were able to run over them in the first rotation. As you said, almost 200 points in that first rotation alone Freaky with 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Absolutely great stuff.
Yeah, I know. You always need a player like that on your team. It's not every day you can find a player that's willing to do that like Pooty is, because, everyone, they just want to go around and be like, "Oh, I'm the all-star. I'm just going to
Mhm.
like lay people down flat." People always love to talk about, like, when you talk about a good player, you don't talk about, "Oh, he just sits on the hill really, really well." You say, "Oh, he shoots so straight. He wins his ones." That's what you typically say about a good player, but I feel like that's wrong. I feel like you should be talking a little bit more about people like this, because without people like Freaky, people like Southpaw, who dropped 22 kills that game, people like Pooty, who dropped 17, and Calamity, who dropped 19, it's it's a little bit harder for them to do that when they have to worry about getting the hill time themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, I can attest to that personally because on my team in my college, I have an absolutely awesome player who does that for us. Shout out Drew. He is incredible at that job, and like you said, it just opens up the map to those players, to those teammates, to allow them to play for that positioning, allow them to, as we saw a lot in this one, play those crosses, play those cutoffs, and just take advantage of that one guy who's willing to soak up the time, so the other guys can play their game, make sure nobody even touches him. So great teamwork. I just love how the team meshed in that hard point, and I'm excited to see if that carries on over to S&D here, or if Disengage will get the job done.
Yep, and once again, the team names are switched. I should really figure out how the Codcaster is going by now. I thought I did, but I didn't. But now, we are going to be seeing here now Southpaw, now with a nice little orange background instead of a black and orange background. Trying to make his way deep with the bomb. Does find one onto Patty Mills, but Lazy not quite able to capitalize on what can be there. He's very worried about Calamity. Taking him out of the equation will make this retake a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Beautiful shots out of Lazy right there. Just absolutely ripped him off that top AC. And now you can see Lazy still watching that top AC area. Some utils being thrown around here. That bomb is going to be down, though. Nobody has possession of that one yet, as I can tell, at least. As you can see, Southpaw trying to play his life, get some information. May have spotted Zay right there, but Pooty finds a kill. Lazy getting aggressive, finds Southpaw on that power position, able to take that one over as 15 seconds remain on this bomb plant. Freaky and Pooty looking to try and keep this one down. Freaky is in a great position, and that is going to be Acrylic with the round win. And I lost sight of the bomb. They actually planted it, so that was actually my bad. But it's still a great round out of them.
Yeah, great start, and once again, Freaky just being that guy, sitting on the spot, waiting for his opponents to come and contest the objective. If you try to take the objective from him, he's gonna kill you, pretty much. Always, only really acts when called upon, and does a very good job at that when he is. And so, yeah, already Acrylic establishing pretty good dominance in the search and destroy. Although, I do want to say, Rarity, I don't always like to judge these search and destroys by the first 2 rounds, because, a lot of these good search and destroy teams, they like to do some crazy stuff, trying to figure out what they can and can't get away with, and once they do, they start really turning it up. That could still be the case for Disengage. I'm not trying to judge them just yet.
Yeah, I absolutely agreed. I mean, it's a lot about feeling each other out. And I mean, Calamity playing around with that sniper too over towards this A hit, and that plant does end up going down, so it's gonna have to be a full-on 4v4 here. Calamity is in a great position, though. He's able to see right through that doorway to see any crossing players, and does get that info out to his team. Patty Mills, he's gonna be watching up top, does spot a player down below as Lazy finds the first blood on the Southpaw. Freaky gets away with his life. Pooty there with the backup, able to make it 3-on-3 as Freaky and Calamity end up pinching onto Lazy. And that's going to be a 2v3 scenario now. Zay able to pick up one. Zay's the last alive. Zay picks up 2, almost gets the 3rd, but gets taken out instead. Pooty on a 5-0 to start out this one, secures the round.
Yep, another great round for Acrylic, albeit that one was even closer than the last one. Pooty managing to be the anchor for his team once again. Still has not died in the first 2 rounds, already almost X streaks. Trading out kills quite effectively onto Zay with Renetti or with the MCW. This guy is, so far, definitely someone you got to be looking out for in the league. But, I mean, again, these rounds have been pretty dang close. I think that this is definitely a little bit more of the speed of Disengage, especially Lazy. I mean, he wasn't doing bad at all in the hardpoint. Definitely one of the better performers, even though he had a negative KD. But Yeah, I think when his team can sort of hit the reset button between these rounds, it's giving them a little bit more of a position to play from when they're not getting instantly divided from each other all the time.
I completely agree, but man, Pooty coming down those mid ruins, able to try to make that divide happen as he's able to pick up that first blood. Zay, look at him. He's finding these routes. He's going to end up going up right towards his top AC. Is he able to find the first kill? He does, but gets traded out with submission shots, unfortunately. So that is still going to work out in Acrylic's favor, but Sky through mid, able to find one, looking for more as he looks over AC. Patty Mills watches a player cross on over. That information is going to be relayed as Freaky over here towards that top bomb site, that top archway. Power position gets ripped by Sky. Oh my goodness. Making it a 1v2 here for Calamity with that sniper rifle in hand. All he has to do is watch that bomb. 20 more seconds. He might have gotten an eye on someone over towards the bomb. Hits the snipe and backs up. 13 seconds left. He just has to stay alive and check this bomb, but he gets the kill. And Acrylic, they're going to go up 3-0 here in S&D.
Oh my goodness, this is not okay, the stuff that Acrylic is doing to these guys right now. They're getting so close, 1v1 bomb plant pretty much every single time here, but still to no avail for all their hard work. And again, it's really, really close. It's getting disturbingly close for Acrylic in some of these rounds, but still, they just have a little bit better, I guess you could say, ice in the situations. They've always got one player like Freaky who's able to anchor it down, Pooty who's able to get a 2-piece, Calamity getting 3, all the players just popping off exactly when they need to, when they're each called.
Yeah, it's just that communication, that teamwork is really showing up here for Acrylic, and probably practice as well, as Calamity ends up almost getting a pick off the rip, but Patty Mills ends up trading him out anyways as Freaky finds Sky, Southpaw finds Zay, and we are in a 3v2 here in favor of Acrylic. Southpaw roaming around the map. Freaky finds Lazy, but he gets traded out instead. Absolutely unfortunate 2v2 now as Pooty looks to make his move. He knows where the player is. He smells blood. He's going to throw that stun, try to get him out of there, but Lazy is there with a little bit of, I don't know if that was intentional or not, bait from his teammate. Was able to find the kill, but you're right. He did end up spotting Southpaw on that flank, so they're going to make a mad dash over towards this B site. He's going to get some height advantage, and he's going to try to sniff out that flank, but Southpaw, he's getting these rounds. He ends up finding a nice angle, but not able to finish the kill onto Patty. He's going to chase him, but he's going to be spotted himself. 2v1 gets killed, and that is going to be Disengage, stemming the bleeding as they find a round.
Oh man, finally. I was starting to lose my mind. If they lost this round here as well after so many good things going their way once again, it would have broken my heart, absolutely. But yeah, finally finding a round on the board for themselves. The great usage of the intel. They did a really good job there in the 2v3 situation, especially Lazy, and I think it was Patty Mills here. Yes, I'm pretty sure it was them baiting off each other. Not necessarily forcing, but baiting Pooty into a gunfight that he wasn't really tipped off to win. Knows that one guy's weak. He's like, oh, I want to go in for the kill, but then Lazy's on the other side ready to shoot him. Clocks the other guy coming from the other side of the map. They rotate, they plant for the opposite side of where he is. It's just really good stuff from Disengage in that round.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, those two definitely have some synergy with each other as Pooty ends up calling in that kill streak, gets that information, actually gets a kill onto Patty with some nasty wraparound work. And that's going to give them the early advantage and the bomb plant here. So that's a great start here out of Acrylic. As Sky ends up finding Freaky though, so that's going to be a 3-on-3 here. Sky still roaming that mid-broken area. Gonna try and find anyone here who's daring to challenge him. Pops out the door, looks the right way, gets the kill, but Pooty able to trade out Zay. It's 2v2. Sky gets challenged by Calamity, and he does not win that anyways. Lazy able to pick up that trade. 17 seconds. You gotta know where this player is. They've been playing this area the whole time. You gotta get aggressive. Pooty knows he just has to last time the defuse, it's gonna come in time, and Lazy, he clutches up, and that's gonna be another round for Disengage.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's not like these rounds weren't close already, but they're finally starting to go away of Disengage. These 50-50 coin flips starting to go 50-50 the other way. But yeah, oh my goodness, Lazy just sitting there waiting. Pooty, I don't know, maybe got a little bit too much of the ego going on there from their past successes, getting the streaks early on, but I do have to say, I don't think Pooty, let's take a look back at the scoreline. Oh, he has gotten 2 kills. Screw what I was about to say there, but I'm not going to kill since then. But yeah, that is still a major thing to be bringing up here, is that Disengage, I think they're just getting a lot better intel on these guys. I mean, they did get the first blood from Pooty's cruise. That's the best kind of intel that you can get. But like, still, they do play off their intel pretty well. I also noticed a lot of the Acrylic players thinking they won the gunfights, but then pulling off. I think that happened to both Pooty and Calamity in the middle of the map.
Oh, gotcha. So maybe a little bit, you know, a little bit more discipline could do them well in that department, at least, you know, making sure the kill is done before, you know, really backing away or changing your position. But Pooty able to find that first blood on the Sky. Lazy is going to be holding strong up here in this top broken building, as he's going to be forced to back up here. Freaky is going to go for that defuse. He's going to hop on it. Is anyone going to try to tip him off? But Lazy, he gets naded out. The defuse, it's going to come in. And that's going to be Acrylic sniffing, just absolutely sneaking around out of the hand of Disengage. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, so sad, because I know that Lazy, it was literally right underneath his, yeah, it was right underneath his nose, and he was about to go for the peek, but that cross-map nade, the stick for the win, that was, I think that bought them the millisecond they needed, because you saw, as soon as he typed in that final digit, he died. I think that those shots would have come just a millisecond sooner if he hadn't landed that perfect Semtex.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there, man. That was just completely another one of those 50-50 coin flips, man. I mean, does not get closer, but you do see an aggressive A-hit here coming out of Acrylic as they end up swarming onto the site. Lazy does get spotted over towards this back AC pillar area, does get taken down. Pooty, Freaky, both finding their kills. 4v2, Sky and Zay left trapped, and they are gonna get pinched. Zay ends up finding one in the meantime, though. 3v1, a little more doable, but still not looking very favorable if you are Zay here. So it's going to do crazier things, that's for sure, but this is not going to be one of them, as Acrylic able to take him down in a 5-2 advantage now. But man, it's a very close 5-2, that is for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually the first round that's been not even a little bit close, which is definitely saying something. Coming towards the end of the game, it could, I mean, sorry, being on match point here, this could very well be the part where Acrylic has completely figured out their opponent. They're like, all right, guys, that was a fun little time. You guys almost had us there, but yeah, we're going to end off the game now. And yeah, just turn it up to a whole level that Disengage. I don't know if they've quite got it. We will see, as it looks like they're going to go for a fast hit over to B once again.
Yeah, and it actually looks like this one could work out really well. I mean, you have Calamity watching that B site, which will probably be kind of their main player in that situation to relay that information, and actually end up Freaky getting killed in the meantime. And Zay with that push on that sniper, that great call, being able to make that move, able to get that kill. And now 4-2 here for Disengage. Southpaw rocking that sniper. Gonna be on the lookout, though. He's not quite able to find anything over towards that bomb just yet. He is gonna be positioned up here, and he does almost die, but he's gonna get, oh, he almost gets chased down, and he does end up getting chased down for that final kill. And that's gonna be Disengage. They're still fighting. They still find that round, and that might have been their, I mean, not entirely clean, but one of their cleanest round wins yet.
I know, we're going from having the closest round seemingly possible to two complete blowouts back to back. I really don't know what to make of it. Are we going to be seeing another blowout? Is that just how the game's going to turn out at this point? For Disengage, I sincerely hope not, because if we're just trading blowout rounds for blowout rounds, then obviously Acrylic is going to win in the current round. So obviously they've got to take what they've learned from these past couple of rounds and really put it into good use. And I mean, yeah, it looks like they're anticipating a full hit out onto B, really putting their eggs all into one basket on this one, but ooh, Zay, I think they're going to be hearing that door break, and they will be finding the first blood onto Mills.
Yeah, I mean, you said it right. They just took the chance on a full head-on collision, and so far, it is working out. Southpaw is having kill, and that's going to leave Sky. He's going to find Southpaw, though, which is going to be a nice kill. Now it's just going to be staying alive and not being traded out quickly here, slowing things down, getting your pace back, because Disengage, they love these slower-paced games. Lazy almost gets caught by Calamity from up top, but he's going to be forced to kind of hide behind that truck there, so he's going to be pinned back there. He's going to use some help here to push out, but instead tries to push out himself and gets taken down, and Sky gets traded out, and that is going to be Acrylic. They win the S&D 6-3.
Yes, don't let the team names deceive you. Acrylic is going to be winning this map now as well, and that actually does make the series, because without Control in here, we are still doing best of threes, and Acrylic has already won the first 2 maps. Pretty damn amazing performance, especially in the hardpoint, 100-point clubbing, and then having some pretty great moments in the search and destroy here as well. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it already. Acrylic, despite, again, what your eyes may have been telling you, is going to be winning the first game of the entire season.
Yeah, so great stuff out of Acrylic. I mean, overall, they looked really solid, especially in that hard point, man. Their rotations, their breaks were absolutely on point. In S&D, they kind of got a little undisciplined at times, but were still able to kind of reel it in the end and give us a really nice finish. I mean, those last couple rounds that they won were just complete blowouts, and like you said, I think they really just ended up figuring out their opponent after trying to try a few things, trying to see what was open, what wasn't, and ended up making those late game adjustments and were able to close that one out before it got closer than they wanted to. So great stuff out of Acrylic, but Disengage, they put up an absolute fight, but back to the drawing board. Gotta look forward.
Yep, back to the drawing board and back to the pools we go. We're going to be making our way over to a different pool here, ladies and gentlemen, for our next game. It is going to be Soundwave versus Click Gaming.